Let's make history. When the Dutch first arrived in what will become Brooklyn in the 1600s, the early 1600s, they first made settlements in flatlands, which was called New Amersfoort first. And it was similar to Holland in that flatlands obviously was a treeless town, a treeless area. And though they were accustomed to that, it didn't bear much fruit as other types of terrain. And directly to its north was a long strip of woods, which went kind of from east to west. And then above that, north of that, were the hills. So they called this area Midwoud, which translates to Middle Woods. The current name of Midwood is, in fact, an anglicized version of the original Dutch name for it. In 1664, when the English took over, they renamed it Flatbush. The small village of Midwoud retained its name. That was the area directly adjacent to Flatlands. But originally, Midwoud or Flatbush encompassed present-day Midwood, present-day Flatbush, East Flatbush, Brownsville, and East New York. The Lot family arrived in the early 1600s in the beginning, and Peter and Bartell Lot purchased land in Midwood. They were the first to quote-unquote own land in what will become Midwood. And later on down the line, more lots continued to acquire land in the region. In the roaring 20s, New York City planned to rework Midwood as a middle-class residential neighborhood. So they build all these apartment buildings to cater to the middle class, as well as some large homes, which Midwood is known for today. There's some beautiful large homes in Midwood. Also, during the roaring 20s, many people don't know, but Midwood became the quote-unquote Hollywood before Hollywood. The first professional film studio opened in Midwood in the 1920s, and most of the television sitcoms, soap operas, and silent films, comedies were all filmed in Midwood. Originally, Midwood was predominantly an Italian and Jewish neighborhood. Now in the 21st century, many Russians live there, as well as Middle Easterners and various groups of Latin Americans and West Indians. There's a subsection in Midwood called Fisk Terrace at the northeast corner. Some people consider it part of Flatbush, and some people consider it its own neighborhood. It's technically considered part of Midwood, though. And speaking of which, even Midwood High School, some people will argue that that's technically in Flatbush. Throughout Midwood, you do have certain residents who still continue to call it Flatbush. They refuse to call it Midwood. So, it gets a little hairy. The lines get a little blurred. But Midwood has a rich history nonetheless.